Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. My name is David Tear, and every day I profile a different rock and roll artist whose birthday it is today. And today is the birthday of John Perkins. I don't know if any of you know who he was, but or is he's still alive? He was actually the lead singer of a very early doo-wop group called Crew Cuts, and maybe you haven't heard of them either. They were actually one of the first rock and roll groups of all time, and they had one of the first rock and roll songs of all time called Shaboom. I don't know if you've heard this one. It came out in 1954. Some people consider this the first rock and roll record of all time. Came out before Rockin' Around the Clock, which was 55, and that's another song a lot of people think is the first rock and roll song. But Shaboom, if you've heard, I'll sing a little bit for you. Shaboom, shaboom, yeah, da 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 shaboom. Some people think it sounds a lot more like swing than rock and roll, but it's a catchy song, and I like it. And they were a pretty good group. And the last thing I'm gonna say is that they were not the first group to record this song. This was a Canadian group, by the way, and John Perkins was also from Canada. And actually, the first group that recorded Shaboom was this group, known as the Chords. And I think their version came out in 1950. That's a picture of the Chords from 1950. They were, I guess, an African American doo-wop group. And actually, rock and roll has its roots in jazz and blues and kind of African American music anyway. So that's the history of this song, Shaboom, which is, a pretty landmark song in the history of rock and roll. And the Crew Cuts had the biggest hit version of it. Their version went to number one. I don't know how long it was number one, probably several weeks. But anyway, it's a good song. You should listen to it if you've never heard it. And that's my show for today. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.